What is up, gang? Hey, hey, hey. I am here with Megan. She's like, what have you got me into? Holy cow. But I'm so excited to have her because I get so many questions about people who want to do the lean program while working night shift. And they're like, how the heck do you fast while you're working night shift? How do you make it work? How do you get the macros going? All of those things. And so Megan has been super successful with the lean program. She has lost 24 pounds, which is crazy. And she's going to give us some tips in what she did to kind of manage the fasting cycle and the tracking with night shift, because that is hard. So I'm really excited to have her. Welcome, Megan. Welcome,
Hey.
Megan. This is probably her first live Facebook.
I don't do this stuff.
I love to drag my client. I'm like, hey, come on over. We'll go live on Facebook. It'll be good. But this is a common issue because a lot of people do work night shifts, and trying to figure out that kind of fasting schedule and things like that are so hard. So if you are working night shift, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. I would love to see in the comments, the things that you're doing to kind of make it work. But I'll tell you typically what I tell my clients that work night shift, and I potentially told you this, when we were, maybe when you reached out about doing the program. But what I typically say is that, there's probably going to be 1 or 2 days a week that you're not going to be able to fast.
Yeah.
And it's typically like that lead in to your first shift and then coming out of your last shift. And that's the thing that I love about intermittent fasting is that it's not an all or nothing technique. You don't have to fast every single day of the week to see benefits. So what I typically tell my clients is that on those two I call them flex days. What do y'all call them? Is there a name for it?
Yeah, I guess flex days.
Yeah, the flex days where you're not, the sleeping cycle is not the same. Those are the days that we focus simply on the macro management, okay? We don't worry about the fasting on those days. And typically I think that helps, but there's a lot of challenges to kind of working the night shift. So tell me how you went into creating your fasting schedule around your night shift schedule. So you typically work 3 nights a week.
3 nights.
You typically you're doing 7P to 7A. And we talked about this. I think most of the time you have 2 back-to-back, sometimes 3 back-to-back, but maybe 2 back-to-back, 1 break, and then 1 other shift. Yeah.
So usually, my big thing with night shift is I flip back to day shift on my days off. So it's kind of makes it easier for me. Some people don't do that. They live the night shift life Monday through Friday, even Saturday, Sunday. But since I have a little one at home and a husband that works nights, I have to flip. So on my day coming into going into work, I'll go to bed the night before at a normal time, like 11 to 6, so, whatever the case may be. If she's in school, she's not, I'll sleep as late as she'll let me. And then I'll get up and just kind of have my day, do my, routine and go to the gym or whatever I need to do. And then I'll take like a little nap, possibly between like 1 and 4. And then I'll get up and I'll have my protein shake. And then I'll sit there and I'll get MyFitnessPal out and I'll chart, okay, if I have my carrots and then if I have this, and I'll just kind of document everything in there and kind of like play with it a little bit to see, maybe I can't have the berries today. Sometimes on like my higher carb days, I'll do my shake with frozen berries in it and that'll give me my carbs. And then on my low carb days, I'll choose to just do my PB Fit, my chocolate shake. So
I love that. Pre-logging makes the biggest difference. So I talk a lot of clients are like, I get to the end of my day and I've had too many carbs or I've not had enough protein.
Yeah.
And I always say pre-logging really helps that. So you did that almost every day.
Every day. And now even like that I'm not in the program, but I'm still living the lifestyle.
Yeah.
If I'm going to work, I'll try to still pre-log because it makes me more self-conscious of what I'm taking in. When I'm at home, I can kind of like play with it and I'm in front of the fridge and I can see what I'm dealing with. At work, I don't have that option. What I take is what I take. And then there was a couple times I forgot lunch and I had to, go to the cafeteria that's so healthy at the hospital and, take what options I could get. And I just sat there with my fitness log in the cafeteria trying to figure it out. And, I made it work, but definitely pre-logging was something that I had to do.
And I would think that that's, I was asking her before we jumped on, I was like, what's the biggest challenge of living, like working in that night shift kind of culture with regards to kind of healthy eating and lifestyle changes. And I think one of the hardest parts is the fact that, there aren't a lot of healthy options at 2 a.m.
No.
I mean, if the cafeteria is open, it's probably the grill. You're getting French fries and hamburgers. They don't have the salad bar laid out.
We do have it, but it's very expensive.
It's very okay.
They weigh it.
They weigh it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that the fact that you're taking the time to kind of pre-log and you know what you're eating, you're taking it with you is super key. I think the other thing that we talked about when we were talking one-on-one is that there's a lot of things that come up during night shift. Like you said, there's like this 4 o'clock candy bowl that comes around. There's like a 4 o'clock candy bowl that comes around. I wonder if there could be a 4 o'clock apple bowl that rolls around. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice. So I'm sure a lot of people use food to just kind of stay awake.
Oh yeah.
During that night shift. And so there's, and a lot of people are ordering out and things like that. So when you already have it planned out, you've already got it pre-logged, then well, I don't have room for that candy bowl. Or you're like, oh, well, I actually was kind of under, so I do have room.
Yeah. And there has been nights like we celebrate all the time at work. It's somebody's birthday, there's cake, or
all the time.
There's potlucks. And, if I always have a little wiggle room with my carbs anyways. I'm not a big carb eater, especially now I've learned what the effects of gluten are and all these things. And I hardly ever intake bread, ever. If it is, it's like the carb bounce tortilla with the chicken salad. But I do still live. I still enjoy things. I still, if there's cake, if I have the room for it, I'll take part. If not, I just say no thank you. But it's a lot of willpower.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that comes back to kind of like your why. Like, why are you doing this, And again, some days are better than others, I'm sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So I we kind of like sat down and I was kind of like picking her brain to try to get, the specifics of, what she did. And so your eating window on most days was 4 to 12.
Yes.
Tell me why that eating window worked best for you.
Well, I kind of have to get up and start my day. And I always do that with a protein shake or some kind of protein source if I don't have time to get a shake made. But just at work, your typical busy time is 8 to 12. It kind of slows down after that. But if I went longer, I wouldn't be able to intake any food before going into work. And I need that energy source because I'm dragging. I'm tired.
Okay.
And there's some days I don't have a good sleep schedule. I stay up later because there's something I have to do that morning when I get off. And it's just that's kind of my go-to, and that's what gets me going for the day.
So in my capacity, because, so I do, obviously I eat during the day. So for me, because I get good sleep, it's easier for me to wake up and fast in the morning.
Yeah.
But for you, because your sleep schedule is so varied, that you feel like when you get up, you kind of need to fuel your day from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And not even that, it's like when I'm coming out of my 3-day stretch, I want to flip back to normal, and being that 4 to 12 gives you that way of flipping back.
Right. You're
it's not so drastic
so
going from eating at 4 a.m. and then you're trying to flip back to eating at noon. Because I always, wanted to make sure I got my fast in. And there were some days, like she said, you can't get it in. But that was just my goal because I knew it was giving me results and it was working for me and I felt good, and that was a priority for me.
Yeah, because some people will, I work with a ton of people in night shift, and yes, I do think that it's a lot harder just for a lot of reasons, but some people will eat more like 8 p.m. till 3 in the morning. They're really eating kind of in that midday. And I think what's most important to realize about fasting is the benefit is in the 16-hour fast, the 12 to 16 hours, the 16 to 18 hours. The benefit is not in the eating window. So even if you eat for 10, 12 hours, as long as you, fast for 12, 13, 14, 15, ideally 16 for weight loss, you're going to get the benefits. Okay. So it doesn't matter. A lot of people get wrapped up in that. They're like, oh, well, if I eat for 7 hours, then the fasting doesn't work. No, the benefit is in the fast, not the eating window. So again, sometimes those flip days, those flex days, you are kind of eating for longer periods. Now, you didn't really use flex. You didn't use a flex day. You pretty much fasted almost every single day.
Pretty much. And then if I had a flex day, it was that glass of wine on the weekend to
There
make
you
me
go.
not feel bad.
There you go.
I still would try to fast. So.
Yeah. So what she would do is going into her first shift, she would actually extend her fast till about 20 hours.
About 20 hours. Because I'd probably try to eat. I try to have a later meal the night before work. Possibly the latest would be 9. I never really ate later than that. And then I would just wake up, do my thing for the day, and then I'd take a nap. I don't ever just sleep 24 hours before going to work with the little one at home. But I'd just wake up and then I'd start, and like she said, it'd be about 20 hours roughly that I would.
So for her, instead of doing like the flex, she would do more like 2 extended fasts, like a 20 hours. And then coming out of your last shift, sometimes you would even do that 24 hour.
Yes.
Just to kind of reset with the rest of the world, living in a day shift. So I think that that's a great option, you know, in increasing your fast. But so you can increase your fast to 20 hours, you know, twice a week in order to manage those shifts in your schedules, or you can decrease your fast. You can do like 12-hour fast on those days, and, you know, manage it that way. So can go either way, because here's the deal. A lot of people think that the benefit of lean is the fast, and it's not. Like, that's really just one small portion. You know, there's 5 factors that go into the lean program, and fasting is one of them. Now, I do think fasting is something that people try that they've never tried before.
Yeah, I never did it before.
It does produce results with regards to managing your hunger, keeping you on track. But the bottom line, it's all about macro management. You know, if you eat 12 hours a day, as long as you stay within your macros, your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats, that's what we focus on. We don't focus on calorie control. We focus on macro management. You're still going to see the same results.
Yeah. I mean, because even before, I would think I'm calculating my macros, and it was just like subconsciously, I was like, oh, here's a protein cookie. So either I was overeating my proteins or undereating my proteins. It was never, there was no logic to what was coming in. And then this just created so much, you know, I just figured it out and I had it in front of me, and nobody ever really taught me that. So just all the advice that you'd given was, I mean, it's a lifelong thing for me now. I don't know what else I'll do.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that, you know, I work with a lot of clients that are like, I eat healthy, you know, I eat healthy and I can't lose weight. Well, healthy food adds up.
Yeah. That's what I thought I was doing.
And so, you know, again, that kind of that tracking piece, that macro management makes like a huge difference. So I think that's important. So those are the things that I really like to reiterate to my night shift people is that, you know, you may not be able to fast every single day. That's okay.
Yeah.
You may have longer fasts twice a week. That's okay. And, you know, I mean, obviously your schedule is going to be a lot different than us. Now, let's talk about MyFitnessPal, because this is a really tricky part. Like, people get really thrown off with using MyFitnessPal on night shift because it shifts. It goes to the next day.
So that is the issue. When I would snapshot my nutrition to you, I would have to kind of let her know, okay. And what I would kind of do is I would actually pre-log it in for that day.
On one day.
On the one day.
Yes.
And then I wouldn't let it log over. It was 1 a.m. and I was eating my protein bar or whatever.
Right.
And then I would snapshot it to her lots of times. The next day, ended up being after the cutoff, and I would have to let her know. And then I would just kind of give a tidbit of, this is when I fasted. This is what happened. You know,
so with MyFitnessPal, it automatically rolls over to the next day, obviously at midnight. So when you're fasting throughout the night, now you were kind of good because your fasting your eating window ended at midnight. But if it did go over, you would want to log everything. So if you ate between, let's say, 5 and 2 a.m., you would want to log everything on that Wednesday. On the Wednesday. And then the next day, you would log everything on that Thursday. And sometimes that like throws people off big time. So it's easy to kind of go back. But you want to, so basically it's like you're logging within a 24-hour period. So, and that's where the pre-logging will help as well, for sure. Okay, so there's a couple of strategies that I thought were really good that you implemented to kind of help you, because I can imagine, you know, if you stop eating at midnight, and you don't get off work till 7, you know, that's 7 hours that you've got to be around people that are eating. That's 7 hours that, you know, you've got to be kind of in your top shape. So, what are some things that you would do after your eating window closed if you felt like you needed it?
I always take pickles. And everybody picks on me at work. And there's Megan with her pickles. So, but pickles, yeah. I don't know if it's the sodium or what it is. Because I'm a salt person. I'm not a sweet person.
Yeah.
I want crunch and I want salt.
Yeah.
So it definitely gets me over that, that hurdle that I'm facing, especially when everybody's eating their pizza and their Jimmy John's and their calzones. And it's a struggle. And then lots of times on my days that I work, I do partake in the bulletproof coffee. I get that. That's my get up and go. And it's bad because my dentist got onto me, but it did stain my teeth because I was a sipper. I'd kind of sip on it through work.
Yeah.
And she's like, you been drinking coffee? And I was like, she's like, are you sipping it? I was like, yeah. But, but it kind of helped me with my cravings through the night too. I didn't want the extra stuff. There's, the peanut butter and the saltine crackers and the ice cream in the fridge.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, so it did help with the cravings and everything like that. And it gave me that little get up and go as well.
And so these are some of the strategies that we use in Lean. It's called assisted fasting. So with the bulletproof coffee, I do think a lot of times, especially with night shift people, I think in general, you want to make sure you're not under eating.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you get your macros in, that you hit your protein, you hit your carbohydrates, you hit your protein as appropriate for the day. Mm-hmm. Because if you're consistently under eating, you're going to get hungry. Yeah. You're going to get hungry. So that really helps with the BP coffee. And then her little pickle trick, it's something that I use all the time, is, there is this notion of, 40 calories or less is not going to break your fast, okay? It's not going to give you 100% of the benefits of the fasting, but you're still going to get tons of benefits. And if you do, 1 or 2 spears, 2 or 3 spears of pickles, it's like 10 calories, 15 calories. It's like insignificant. And what she mentioned about the sodium is so true. So did you ever use electrolyte water?
Oh, I had to live by it. That's all I drink now.
So I find when people use a ton of electrolyte water enhanced with sodium, potassium, and magnesium, when they use like pickles and things like that, basically the reason why you feel better is the sodium. I know a lot of times when I'm doing my extended fast, the evenings are like the hardest, like getting through. Once you get past like the 26, 27 hour, like that's the hard part. But if I would eat a couple pickles, I'd feel better. Mm-hmm. And it's totally because of sodium. Yeah. Why do pregnant women crave pickles? The salt. When you're pregnant, you need like twice the amount of sodium. So it's little things like that will just make you feel so much better. So I'm the same way. I keep pickles. I keep that gardenia. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the pickled cauliflower and carrots. Yeah. Anything like that. Because sometimes it's also, you just need something crunchy, something flavored. Yeah. So having that on hand, really for anybody, again, a couple of bites here and there. Again, it's not the perfect fast, but you're still going to get tons of benefits, and it'll kind of keep you through the night. And it's better than hitting that 4 a.m. candy bowl.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You'd be better off eating 10 calories worth of pickles than you are eating 200 calories worth of candy. Mm-hmm. So it's just, you've created a new normal option to help you to stay on track. Yeah. And sustain, I think that's the key, sustain this lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Good. What I think that kind of covers it. So just to kind of summarize with regards to night shift, is it possible? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? No. It's definitely not easy. I feel like it's not easy to, do night shift in general. Yeah. Night shift alone wreaks havoc on your health, but people got to do it. Like we need people to work night shift for us. So, these strategies, putting them in place, I think really enhances that. I think that you have to give yourself a little bit more grace with night shift. Yeah, a little bit. And one of the things that you mentioned, because you're like a floater, right?
Yeah, I'm in the float pool at UK.
So she's like, if I'm in the ER, then sometimes my night,
go to the bathroom.
Is way different than I'm on the floor. And I think that that's the case for a lot of people. It's like, even if you work in the ER every night, one ER night ain't the same as the other. No. So some of the things that you mentioned is you always have like a protein bar on hand.
I always have protein, like packs of tuna in my backpack, just stuff that stays there.
Something that you can get like really quick.
If I know I can't sit down and eat that meal I prepped and brought for myself, I still can run and eat 5 minutes of protein bar, something.
So having like those quick things, because every night is different. Yeah. I think is important. Giving yourself grace with that, like, oh man, I made this lunch and now all I have time is for this stupid bar. Giving yourself grace with the fasting, understanding that you may not fast 7 days a week, but fasting 5 days a week would be a great option. And I think that it's a good idea. And it's kind of your pattern now,
Yeah,
but I
it's
think
my
in the
norm now.
beginning, it is important to kind of sit down. So like I sat down and kind of wrote out, okay, like here's your work schedule. When would you be sleeping this day? Okay, what would be your eating window? So it is good to kind of, and a lot of nurses do get their schedule by the month, sometimes.
Like my schedule right now goes all the way to, I think, August 3rd.
Yeah, so it's usually big blocks, so you can kind of go through and kind of, and it's just like, for me, like I got a meal plan every week, so you guys have to kind of fast plan, plan when am I going to do my longer fast, what days I'm not going to fast. So I think just a little bit of that can be really helpful. I think if you have set days, it's even easier. Some people do have the luxury of working the same night shift every week.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think that's very helpful. Megan does not have that luxury. I can't even talk. But I think that really helps. But just little things like that. So if you have questions about fasting, about doing the lean program while working night shift, post those in the comments below. I'm going to tag Megan. She's going to help me answer those. If you found this information beneficial, I know you have a friend or family member that works night shift. I encourage you to use the share button below and share it with everybody so they know how they can implement this amazing nutritional strategy in their night shift work. And hey guys, I got a session starting July 1st. I know you're like, who starts a nutrition plan the week of July 4th? But the first week is prep week.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So really the first week,
bad.
you can sit on your beach, drink your pina colada, watch the videos, get through 4th of July, and then we start 100% dialed in week 1 the following Monday. So if you're ready to learn advanced nutritional strategies, get tons of education, tons of support, I encourage you to sign up. I'm going to put the link below. All right, guys. Happy Tuesday. Talk to you later. Bye.